First game will be breaking down 1 p.m. Eastern. The New Orleans Saints, 9-8, 6-3 on the road last year at the Atlanta Falcons, 7-10, 2-6 at home. I know I started the year by saying Falcons, and I apologize to all of you who've tried to make me say Falcons over the last 5 years or so. I guess the Canadian in me creeps out in ways I don't want it to, and I apologize right off the top. I can't believe I did it right off the top. Okay, let's stay focused here and not think about that. We move on to the line history here, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. You can tell it's the first show of the year because I'm calling them the Falcons. The Saints open up at -5. They're now -5.5. We go to the totals. It opened up at 41.5. It is now at 42.5. That is where we stand. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one. Winston versus Mariota, 21,776 tickets in. 76% of the tickets are on Winston. And when I talk about the tickets, I'm only going to talk spread. I'm not going to talk money line unless it's a pick 'em. 76% of the tickets are on the Saints, and 84% of the cash is on the Saints. And then it's 50-50 for the total. And here's another game where they're not giving us the cash money here on Sports Insights. It's great to see. I wish I could give all you guys a shout out. I'm seeing so many names that I haven't seen in a while. Eric Swiatek, it is so great to have you back in action with us. Jonathan Yim says, I know we are doing the suicide pool this year, but will you still give some info on your ideas, or you keep them under your hat? No, I'll definitely will. And don't forget, that's a big deal here at Pub Sports Radio. We have our Cappers contest, 5 picks against the spread, and we have our Survivor pool. And the Survivor pool has to be in by Thursday. The 5 picks in the Capper contest, you have until Saturday night to get in. Also, my mom will be in the contest, and there will be a penalty if she beats you. We are discussing what that penalty will be, but there will be a penalty for sure. And don't forget, Thursdays, we have the Cappers contest show, Jose and I, because Jeff Slaughter is buying us into the Circa Millions. I got my Circa Millions hat right there, and we will be working with the chat to decide which 5 games we'll be betting each week, and not 1 cent will go into Jose and I's pocket. It will all go to us partying out of control. Let's go. After 16 years of Sean Payton in charge, Dennis Allen takes over in New Orleans. Allen took over from Rob Ryan as defensive coordinator, and he improved the Saints defense drastically. Allen kept Peter Carmichael as offensive coordinator. Dynamic star running back Alvin Kamara was arrested and charged with battery in the offseason, as we all know. His trial has been pushed until at least October 1st. His expected suspension will either come during the season or possibly after the season, but he is ready for week 1. And Sky Dragon says, what if she wins the whole thing? God, I would love it if she, she's no joke, man. She caps. Jameis Winston threw for 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the 7 games he started before he tore his ACL and also damage to the MCL. That was week 8 against the Bucs. His quarterback rating was 102.8, 10 points higher than any other season in his career. He is a loaded group at wide receiver, but what are we going to get from Michael Thomas since his monster 2019? We don't know. He is fully recovered from his ankle injury, ready to roll, but he did pick up a hamstring injury late in camp. We don't know if that could turn into a more serious issue. Chris Olave was New Orleans' first-round pick out of Ohio State. He joins a group that includes Jarvis Landry and Marquez Callaway. The defense is expected to be very strong this year. Cameron Jordan, Marcus Davenport up front, Demario Davis in the linebacking group, Tyrann Mathieu, Marshawn Lattimore in the secondary. With Matt Ryan out of the picture, Marcus Mariota takes over duties for these Atlanta Falcons. I can't wait to hear what Andy's expectations are of Marcus Mariota, because I don't have high expectations for him. We know that Desmond Ridder is a quarterback of the future. He could see time if Mariota fails. Cordero Patterson did everything for this squad last year, 618 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns, also caught 52 passes for 548 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Falcons drafted wide receiver Drake London, number 8 out of USC. That's the highest drafted wideout by Atlanta since Julio Jones in 2011. 6'4", 219 pounds. So Mariota has 6'4", 219 in London. He has 6'6", 246 pounds in Kyle Pitts. Pitts coming off that monster rookie season, 1,026 yards and 1 touchdown. And on defense, Grady Jarrett will lead the defensive front. A.J. Terrell is a very good corner. Casey Hayward will be signed to patrol the other side. Let's talk about this one on Sunday. Andy, take it away. New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, starting with you kind of touched on it. The bright spots for the Falcons are I'll say it twice every time, just to keep pounding it in here. I love the Canadian accent stuff, but the bright spots are the cornerbacks. Like they have one good, one decent cornerback. They have some pass rush, and they have what is unquestionably probably one of the better tight ends in the league. Coming into his own eventually. Just need some pieces around him. I don't know if the Mariota thing works out. It's not a bad spot for him. I guess if you're going to have a really bad offensive line, and it was a bottom 3 offensive line last year that they did very little to address. If you're going to have a bad offensive line and maybe some issues in the wide receiving course, at least you have a quarterback who's ready, willing, and able to run a little, because I feel like he's going to be running plenty. This is a tough test right off the bat. This is a big ask to lay this many points on the road in a divisional game right off the bat. I know people tend to, I don't know, it's not even really a public thing. I mean, you see this in the markets. People tend to value, hey, this is a divisional underdog. These teams are familiar with themselves. It's not something where we're going to want to lay a lot of points with a favorite here, especially on the road. And you did see a little money come in on New Orleans. A total ticked up a titch, but again, it went from like 4.5 or 5 up to 5. It's not like it crossed to 7 or something important. So I don't put a ton of stock in the Saints money, and I really, really struggle to want to bet either side of this with actual American dollars. This total, I had a hell of a time. I'll just say it. I'll have a hell of a time with Falcons totals last year. When I zigged, they zagged in every which way. I don't know what to expect of this offense. Somebody asked, I think you spoke about London. We don't know. Right now, we're sitting here on a Tuesday night. We haven't got all the injury info. He's progressing. We're hopeful. Like, that doesn't mean yes. It doesn't mean no. So that's a big part of a really beleaguered wide receiver core that basically is turning into a tight end core, I guess, if you don't have him. And on the other side, you spoke about Jameis. He looked great, honestly. He kind of changed his game. It didn't get enough pub, probably. He changed a lot of what he did from his 30-30 season in Tampa, and he was looking like he was an efficient quarterback who'd bought into the, what he was told to do down here in New Orleans, and he didn't even have good wide receivers. Like, he's going to step on the field, and Michael Thomas is going to play. He's going to step on the field and instantly have the best wide receiving, again, I'll just keep saying core, I guess, that he's ever had here while he's been, a short time in New Orleans. Olave is just one of those. It was always going to be a safe pick. Like, he should be good. Michael Thomas is great. Sometimes people forget when a guy misses that much time, but he has a very high ceiling. So I like this offense, and a little bit of a lower total. I don't know if I want this over, but you could talk me into, if you made me bet something here. Boy, a Saints team total, even if I say, hey, the Falcons have good corners, maybe we're able to do this against one or two of these receivers. You still have Kamara, who I think honestly does play the full season with what I'm hearing from the court proceedings and whatnot. You got Kamara, you've got a smart quarterback apparently now, and it's still, those corners aren't going to stop them all day. I don't believe in this pass rush. This is a good offensive line. I think the Saints can score some points here. So team total should be 23-ish, something along those lines. I might take a peek at that. I like to tickle these team totals here and there.
Yeah, there's a couple team totals that I'm attacking as well. The next game, 49ers Bears, is one of them. Let's see what I would get for the team total here. We're getting, at this point, it's a 24.5. Bet 365 for the Saints, juiced to the under, and it's 16.5, heavily juiced to the over for the Falcons. This game makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. We've had my man Birdie confident in this Falcons spot. He says, I bet the Falcons plus 5.5, and I also believe this money line is live. Atlanta has continuity and preparation. This is the same Saints team. Saints have not seen this Falcons offense. He is both familiar with any quarterback switch teams, immediately goes into an offense that was developed for him. And that's what, so you gave us an idea of what you think Jameis is going to do, and I agree with you. What are your expectations on the new quarterback here, Marcus Mariota of the Falcons?
I don't fully understand what the identity that Arthur Smith wanted to put into place last year was, and it didn't help that they had some issues, losing some wide receivers, losing some other pieces, and it wasn't a really great roster as well. So I'm not 100% sure where their head's at, because they also drafted a rookie quarterback. Did they realize that, hey, this is a bad team? We're just going to let Mariota play until we think, we've got enough practice reps to strut the kid out there and see where we're at, or maybe it works out. We win a few games, we're actually in the playoff hunt, and then we don't do that. So they haven't really said, and teams are cagey about that. So I'm not so sure. And you say that sometimes. You say like, hey, well, it sucks. We can't build this offense around this quarterback because we have a rookie we're going to bring in, and we don't want to, have to change things. But they're not too dissimilar. He's going to do a lot of the things that Mariota does too. So if they build an offense around Mariota, it's kind of building an offense around the rookie as well. So I'd like to see a little more of Mariota before I go betting on him. I did get to see a little bit. I think he filled in spots here and there, but I don't know if he's still the same guy we saw. How many years ago now was it that he was supplanted up there in Tennessee? So I'm not excited about betting this game any which way.
Gerald Jones looking at the Atlanta team total under. Gerald Jones also likes the full game under 43. I'm going to need more time with this game. Don't forget, Sunday mornings, 11 a.m., Pub Sports NFL Pop-Up is popping off. 7 different cappers every Sunday, including myself. I will be hosting. We'll be breaking down the picks that they are on, just straight picks in about 10 or 15-minute spots. That is the Saints Falcons.
We at Pub Sports Radio are doing our own cappers contest. $100 entry fee. We will all be competing against each other. Every single cent that's put in will go into the prizes.
You've got 5 picks every week. If you go to pubsportsradio.com, you buy yourself that little ticket that you see on the website right there. Just hit add a cart. You buy the little ticket right there. And after you buy the ticket, you'll get an email with a link and a specific password for you to log in, make your picks, and all that good jam.
So it coincides, of course, with a survivor pool. 1 pick per week, sports survivor pool. That's exciting. We're having a cappers contest, 5 picks against the spread each week, and a survivor contest. We all get to toast the victors and roast the losers. The Cappers contest at Pub Sports Radio. All you have to do is go to pubsportsradio.com to sign up.